Let's speak about why you're even on a spiritual journey. And I'll speak to you about the physical aspect of the spiritual journey, emotional, psychological, social aspect, material aspect, and metaphysical aspect. Beginning with the physical. When you practice Kriya Yoga and you practice the yoga asanas, you are limbering up the body, making the spine flexible. Through pranayama, you're learning how to breathe properly. Your blood pressure is decreasing during meditation. You're reducing the chances of a stroke. Many stress-related dysfunctions of the body, like ulcers, some shoulder aches, back aches, sleeplessness, infertility, all of these can disappear with the depth of meditation. And essentially, when the Kundalini, the magical spiritual electricity of Kundalini, rises and starts going up your energy centers, then 72,000 of your energy centers, called nadis, are being unclogged and cleansed. So there's thousands and thousands of research papers on the medical, physiological benefits of the spiritual journey. What I teach is Kriya Yoga, employing the breath. So you can, using Kriya Yoga and the yoga asanas, you can limber up the body, the spine, the joints will work more softly, blood pressure comes down, any diseases related to nervousness will start to vanish. All of those are the physiological aspects. Then we come to the psychological, emotional aspects of the spiritual journey. There, you cannot just rely on meditation and Kundalini. The reason I have a course like the Full Circle, I get people for a longer period of time, like 90 days. We dip into the subconscious mind. You identify your negative beliefs, and we start to plant positive beliefs in the place of negative beliefs. The steps in the Full Circle strategy are the following. In other words, this is how you heal your psyche. Number one, you have to relax your brain waves. Get your brain waves down to about 3.5 cycles per second. That way your subconscious mind opens up and allows you inside. Number two, once the subconscious mind is open and accessible, you have to identify a liar, a false message in your mind, such as low self-worth, low self-confidence, self-doubt, so forth. So step two, identify a liar in your mind who has always given you bad advice. Number three, you then find evidence to the contrary of what you're being lied to about. In other words, if you feel like you have low self-worth, I help you find many, many incidences where you were highly valued by other people. If you feel like you'll never have money, I help you find many instances that you were able to earn money. So after you identify the liar, we dig into your past and we find evidence to the contrary of your mental illusions. After that step, having worked with your mind, then I need to hold your hand and walk you outside of your comfort zone so you take actions. Actions are part of the healing process. When you take actions outside of your comfort zone, you start to get evidence that you are succeeding in areas that you didn't think you would succeed in. When you get a direct experience through action that things are beginning to work out, then major psychological blockages start to go away because you start to see evidence of victory contrary to your previous beliefs that you would not be victorious. So all of that is part of your spiritual journey. I'm a teacher that believes that you must take time, You must get your brain waves down to a calm level. You must open up the cave of the subconscious mind, find a false message in there in terms of self-limiting beliefs, find evidence to the contrary of those beliefs in your real life, and then go out and take action outside of your comfort zone. So you start to see that you're really beginning to have experiences of success contrary to your false self-limiting beliefs. And then we go to the mental dimension of your life. Here we're asking how the spiritual journey helps the mental dimension of your life. Number one, meditation is a daily exercise that helps you develop your concentration muscles. Every time you meditate, an inner witness is watching the parade of passing thoughts and emotions. This act of watching and gazing inward is developing your concentration muscles. So through continuous meditation, you develop concentration muscles. Same with yoga asanas, the postures. When you do yoga postures with a lot of inner focus, you're developing your concentration muscles. Next, because in meditation, a grand witness watches the illusions, watches the passing parade of thoughts, then you gain clarity. What I mean is, the onlooker, the witness, is not lost in the passing parade of thoughts. The onlooker is just watching without reacting. When you watch chaos, when you watch nervousness, when you watch illusion without responding, you gain clarity. The power of meditation is you watch inner chaos without reacting. And because you don't react, the chaos passes you by. And after it passes by, you gain clarity. Meditation brings up inner wisdom. So here we're talking about how do you help your mind in the spiritual journey. You strengthen your concentration muscles. You gain clarity over momentary fear, momentary anxiety, momentary chaos, because you're not reacting. And then every time your mind is quiet, a natural kind of wisdom comes up. This is guaranteed. So when your mind becomes quieter, an invisible layer of wisdom starts to surface. We call it pure consciousness. Every human mind has a wise layer and a chaotic layer. In meditation, because the mind quiets down, the wiser layer, the clearer mind starts to surface. So all of what I just mentioned is what you gain mentally, plus intuition. This third eye region, in Kriya Yoga, you breathe into the third eye and you start to open up this sixth chakra. And therefore, your intuition, your hunches become stronger. So to conclude about how you help yourself mentally on the spiritual journey, more focus, stronger intuition, pure consciousness or wisdom bubbling up from underneath mental chatter, reduction of mental chatter. Also, because you're not reacting to fear and anxiety, then you just become clear about your life and your path. And that gives you self-confidence. Now, let's talk about material abundance. What happens in your spiritual journey in terms of money and wealth? Well, a good meditation with enlivened Kundalini doubles and quadruples your physical energy. And we know that any accomplishment requires energy. After a 5-day retreat, you're bursting with energy. So energy by itself helps you go after strong action, and strong action equals strong results. If you're depressed or apathetic, you're not going to generate strong results. What I'm saying is, materially speaking, when the spiritual electricity of Kundalini rises, when Kriya Yoga breaths start to clean up your energy centers, when your muscles and cells relax in deep relaxation, you start to gain physical energy. Physical energy is needed for material success because you have to go after big projects and expend energy. The other thing that happens, because of the psychological work that you've done on your spiritual journey, you become a river that's flowing in one direction. In other words, your internal civil wars are over. The typical person has clashing energies. So if you look at their energy circuits and the flow of their inner energy, various energies are clashing with each other. On the one hand, they love their wife. On the other hand, they have lust. So lust clashes with the instinct to have a family. Most people in society have clashing intentions and clashing energies. And therefore, you're not a river that's flowing in one direction. Imagine how successful you would be if all of your inner energies were running in one clear direction. You would have huge impact if all of your energies were running in one direction. In other words, you were clear about who you were clear about the kind of family you want, you're clear about the kind of life you want, and you have no other opposing, confusing thoughts or intentions. So a river running in one direction without any rocks, without any counter currents, is going to be very powerful. Therefore, what I'm saying is, people who are rich, they have certain qualities. They have clarity of the mind, they have self-confidence because they're not tricked by fear and anxiety, they have a lot of physical energy, and psychologically they're sane, so their energies are not clashing, and therefore they can direct their intention, their energy in one direction. There's a lot of crazy rich people, but if you follow their life long term, they make big losses because the craziness starts to weigh you down. The most successful people are healthy family-wise, healthy psychologically, healthy energetically. Those people long term become very successful. Now, let's talk about socially. What happens to you socially on your spiritual journey? What happens is, with the mental sanity, with the chanting of the mantras, with great peace and contentment that you achieve during prayer, during meditation, you start to feel a lot of love in your heart, regardless of external circumstances. Right now you're here in a 5-day workshop. As the days go on, I'm noticing that the participants are becoming happier. The happiness has nothing to do with the external circumstances or what's being served for lunch. The happiness is because your mental state is becoming quieter, your breath is reaching the center of your heart, your muscles and cells are becoming more relaxed in deep relaxation. All of that together is making you happier, and you're feeling love at the center of your heart. When you feel love inside, you're automatically going to give it on the outside. In other words, the law is that everything comes from inside and spills to the outside. Everything comes from inside out. So when you feel love for yourself, you're going to give some of that to the outside. If you're becoming more patient with yourself, you're going to be more patient with your spouse. If you're having more compassion for yourself, you're definitely going to have more compassion for the stranded animals of the world, the abandoned animals, because you have compassion for yourself, and compassion goes from inside out. Everything goes from inside out. Therefore, socially speaking, you're more open to people in the street because you're open to yourself. You have love inside, therefore you're going to give love to the outside. You're patient with yourself, you're going to be patient with your spouse. You're compassionate with yourself, you're going to be compassionate with society. So your spiritual journey helps you socially. Finally, we get to the invisible metaphysical effects. In the ancient books of yoga, they talk about the siddhi powers. And a siddha, S-I-D-D-H-A, is somebody who has 1 foot in the subatomic world, 1 foot on the ground here on earth. A siddha is somebody who has so much spiritual electricity, so much mental focus, that they can see through the material world to the subatomic world, and then step back into the material world and solicit the cooperation of the atom. This seems unbelievable, but the grand gurus of India can manipulate the atom. In other words, they can pierce the outer layer of physical matter and see into the nature of things. They can plant thoughts in your head. They can cure illnesses by just passing their hand through your wound or above your wound. That's metaphysical. So what I'm saying is this: Kriya Yoga meditation increases your vibrational frequencies. Your mind becomes super focused. You're exploding with love inside. And all of this results in an energy field that is extremely powerful. Christ was known to have a lot of silence. So when Christ would get close to a group, they would feel a wave of silence hitting them. That's metaphysical. Somebody who is an advanced Kriya Yoga meditator has a very powerful energy field. As they start to approach you, you start to get impacted by high energy, by love, by compassion, by peace. It is also possible for you if you continue with your Kriya Yoga meditation. So the metaphysics part defies logic. What I'm saying is a super concentrated mind can affect the inside of physical matter that you're looking at. A super powerful personal energy field can enter other energy fields and heal them. A super focused mind can read other minds and plant good ideas in other minds. There have been people who planted bad ideas. It doesn't matter. A siddha is somebody with extraordinary powers. So, towards the more advanced parts of your spiritual journey, you will be able to stir the atom. In deep, deep meditation, at the deepest part of your meditation, there is no Richard left. When the last remnant of Richard the meditator is gone, at that moment, you should plant the seed of your intention up into space. At the quietest moment of your meditation with me, when there's nothing left of your first name and last name, plant the seed of an intention into space and then release attachment. And that kind of power can stir the atoms and lends you metaphysical powers. I wish you all the best. I wish that you continue on this journey because you'll achieve many, many things.